Welcome to Ghost of a Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Lanyadoo. I'm an astrologer, psychic medium, and animal communicator, and I'm going to give you your weekly horoscope and no bullshit mystical advice for living your very best life. Yoni, welcome to the podcast. What would you like a
Hello.
reading about?
I would like to ask about my non-monogamous long-term relationship that I'm currently in. I'm having a lot of growing pains. My partner has pretty much worked through like the initial growing pains. I'm just getting started around that right now because they haven't been able to date for the longest time, and now that they are dating, I'm having to go through like the initial like jealousy reactions and all that stuff, and
Mm,
it's been pretty rough. It's been resurfacing a lot of deep wounds that I didn't think I'd ever have to deal with ever again.
mm. Okay, I have 100 questions for you.
Okay, yeah.
And the first one is, how long have you been with them?
4.5 years.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
And how long have you been non-monogamous?
The whole time.
Oh,
Hmm.
so has it been actively non-monogamous the whole time?
Yeah, like practically not really because they
Mhm.
have been in grad school most of the time.
Which
So
is
they
not
were
sexy.
exactly, yeah. So
It's not.
they weren't able to date most of the
Mhm.
time. And now that they're done with grad school, they're excited to start dating, start meeting new people, start experiencing new things. And like, I think one of the biggest things that has come up on my end is this like weird feeling of like entitlement.
Mm,
Because now that they're done with school, I'm like, well, I wanted that time. And now you're giving it
mm.
to new people. And this only started at the beginning of September, but it has been such a roller coaster.
Okay. And were
Oh, sorry,
you
sorry,
hooked
beginning of August, my bad.
beginning of August? Okay, but still very
Mhm,
recent. And
mhm.
then were you actively non-monogamous while they were in grad school?
Yeah, yeah, so,
Okay.
they were always very busy with school, and I had one long-term relationship outside of them, and
Oh,
then
you
yeah,
had a whole entire relationship. So you're not non-monogamous, you're polyamorous.
yeah, I yeah, is
Okay.
there a difference for you?
Yes, girl, 100%. So,
Mhm.
polyamory, and this is like, okay, can I just say, like, if I had a penny for every time I've had a gay conversation about non-monogamy versus polyamory, I would have so many dollars. So, polyamory is the practice of many loves,
Mm.
and non-monogamy, it's taking monogamy, which is like we only fuck each other, we only love each other, and it's saying non. So it's not about the cultivation of like intimacy and love. That's
Mhm.
polyamory. So if you're having like a whole ass relationship with someone else, that's polyamory. Whereas if you're like having only like agreed upon sexual dynamic
Mhm.
more, that's non-monogamy. From what I understand. Did I write the book on it? No. But like that's what I understand. And so you're actually talking more about polyamory.
Mhm.
You've had like full-blown intimacies with the people.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there's really actually, like, little rules between us around, like, who we're allowed to date, and, like, neither of us can veto each other from, like, falling in love with someone else, for
Wow.
instance.
That's
Um,
bold.
yeah, oh, yeah, my bad. So it's like, I guess relationship anarchy would be maybe a
Yes.
better way
Yes,
to
relationship
describe that.
anarchy, polyamory, not
Yeah.
because non-monogamy is, I think, a lot more controlled just as a
Yeah.
practice.
Mhm.
Okay. But again, they haven't really been super active within this agreement. It's mainly been you.
Correct.
Okay. Let's fucking pull up your chart because I have so much to say. Hold, please. And for those who are not watching, who are listening, you were born October 18th, 95 in San Salvador, El Salvador at 8:30 p.m. We are saying, even though it's so specific. Okay, okay. Let's talk because there's so much to say.
What a mess.
No, not a mess. Not I mean, maybe, but also no, not necessarily. When I pulled up your chart, I saw something and I was instantly like, interesting. Because of course I didn't know any of that backstory.
Mhm.
I actually thought based on the way you wrote your question that you were just opening up the relationship to non-monogamy.
Mm.
But you have a Jupiter conjunction to your descendant. and it's opposite your ascendant. And a lot of times, not always, folks with this dynamic in their chart feel like love is a thing that I share with the people, and I have adventures with the people, and each individual adventure I have with each individual person has nothing to do with the other person. Like, these are all completely separate encounters, and so it can feel totally fine to have different romantic encounters with several different people because they feel really separate to you. Does that track?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm being totally honest, oftentimes with people with this aspect cheat because they're just like, it's not a big deal. I'm just going out there and getting something, but don't worry, it has nothing to do with you. Do you have any history with infidelity?
Yeah, I cheated twice on my first relationship when I was 20 years old.
Okay. I mean, you were still little, but I mean,
Yeah.
you're still young. I mean, you just immediately post Saturn return. Your Saturn return ended in March of this year. In my experience, this aspect makes you a really good candidate for what did you call it? Anarchy? Relationship anarchy?
Relationship anarchy? I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna contradict myself in a minute. Just get ready. But like you're a really good candidate for relationship anarchy in some ways. You're really good at like being able to have intimacies, like various kinds of intimacies with various kinds of people, and it doesn't like take from your other relationships, right? Those things look good for you. But I have rarely met a person who has Jupiter in this placement that is chill with their partner doing the same.
Facts.
Facts on facts on facts on facts. So let's add more complexity. Jupiter is square Saturn in your chart. And so you have a tendency to really want to partner with people who are more Saturnian than you, who are like dependable and like kind of maybe you're a little bit more, I mean, just Saturnian. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit more structured, a little less wild and free. Is that who this person is?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, and even when dated people outside of them, I keep dating like very similar signs, like Virgo specifically
Sure,
keeps coming
sure.
up a lot.
I have words for that in a moment as well. But let me say this. Part of why you like that is because, we don't date ourselves all the time, right? Like a hand enjoys a glove, right? Not just another hand. So, right, you're dating somebody who's different from you. But the other thing is there is a security and a dependability in that kind of a person for you.
Mhm.
And now all of a sudden your partner is like, and partner, is that the right descriptive word? Is that what you call them?
Yeah, we're like married and
Okay, you're
own a
married.
yeah.
Okay. Do you call them spouse? What's the right designation?
I call them my husband wife
Okay.
usually.
Okay,
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking love that, so I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden your husband wife is just like changing the rules on you, and it turns out that you are not as adaptable, flexible, and open, aka anarchistic, as
Mhm.
you thought you were, because when the other
Yeah.
person's doing it, this is what often happens with a square in the birth chart is like, well, you got to be Jupiter because they were Saturn. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're being Jupiter and you're like, "Ah, I'm Saturn. Fuck, I'm Saturn." Right? Now, let me add
Mhm.
something else to it. You've got this Mars-Pluto conjunction in Scorpio, and it's
Mm.
in the house of Virgo, it's in the 6th house. Now,
Oh.
Mars and that's this bitch right here.
Mhm.
So Pluto conjunction to Mars, I'm not gonna lie, so possessive. So possessive, so possessive. Square the moon. That is like
It's
wildly
bad.
possessive. Yeah,
It's bad.
it's bad. It's that it feels like someone is taking something that belongs to you. I think what you used the word entitlement. That is a
Yeah.
very like fixed sign Mars, Pluto, square the moon shit right there. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's counter to how you functioned because you've been functioning out of your Jupiter, just like flowing, chilling, like keeping everything exciting, but to yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be totally straightforward with you. This is not easy. It's not
Mm.
easy. It's
Very
not.
difficult.
It's not your happy place.
Yeah, the opposite, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I
I'm not
mean,
laughing at, I'm laughing with, because it is, like, such
totally.
a great understatement when you say the opposite, because I'm
Yeah.
looking at your chart, it's like, it triggers abandonment issues, it triggers
Yes.
resentments, it
Yes.
triggers feelings of, like, obsessiveness and fixation.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's so
Okay.
terrible. It's terrible because, unfortunately, your fucking Jupiter conjunction to the descendant is like, "But I must be free."
Yeah, and
And
the same with for them out as well.
they
The
want
same
to
for
be
them as
free.
well.
They wanna
And
be
I want them
non-monogamous.
to be free. Like, I was freaking out so much that I suggested to close off the relationship to, like, build off not, like, indefinitely, but just to,
Mhm,
like, work on our shit
mhm.
so I could feel more secure before opening it up.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I mean, it
they don't
wasn't
want that.
yeah, they don't want that. It's right now they're feeling very, like, they just got out of prison. Like, that's how they would
Right,
describe it.
right.
They
That's I
got out
mean,
of
I've
grad
heard that from
school.
a lot of people out of grad school or after, like, a
Exactly.
PhD.
Yeah.
So, perhaps there's a space between relationship anarchy and monogamy.
Mhm.
Um, Spoiler alert, there's like a 7,000,000 places between those 2 things. So
Totally.
totally. So, I wonder if your partner would be open to negotiating some ground rules, because part of what fucks with your Pluto-Mars conjunction square to your moon, by the way, Uranus is opposite your Mars and Pluto, so fucks with you, is because it's a wide open, endless playing field where anything could happen anytime they're away from your physical presence.
Mhm.
It, like, takes your activation and then just, like, screen enlarge, screen enlarge, screen enlarge, right? Like, it just makes
There
it
you
bigger,
go.
bigger, bigger.
Yeah, like, right now, we're fortunate enough to have found a really good couple therapist
Great.
that not only respects non-monogamy and polyamory, like, structures,
Mhm.
but, she also is, like I think she's had other non-monogamous couples before, so she asked specific questions that, like, our couple therapist before her, like, he wasn't really interested in getting into any of it either.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does, because I actually just got done having a therapist who, like, every time I would express a difficult emotion about my possessiveness over my partner, I'd be like, "Look, I'm feeling super possessive, I'm feeling super angry. I don't wanna feel this way, but it's how I feel." And my
Mhm.
therapist would just say to me, "Well, this is your choice. You're
Oh,
choosing."
that's yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Monogamy's hard, polyamory's hard, non-monogamy's
Yeah,
hard. I mean,
yeah,
everything is hard. Relationships are hard.
yeah.
And I think the freedom that you really require, to be honest, means that you have to work through these possessiveness issues. And that doesn't mean so that you don't have possessive feelings or angry feelings or resentful feelings, because that's not the most realistic goal in the world. It's
Mhm.
that you can feel those feelings and recognize that they're not actually about your desire to contain your partner or even necessarily about what they are or aren't doing. It's about your shit and your childhood triggers and some habits that you have.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think right now, when I wrote into the question, I was feeling super activated and I was like panicking because
Yeah.
the feelings were coming up again. And it's the same reason why I'm like looking into like the forgiveness course because I know that like there's a lot of shit I have to forgive. I know there's resentments that I have to let go of that I have over my partner, but I know those resentments are also tied to the past as well.
Yeah.
And, like, right now, I'm not feeling super activated about the subject, but that's also because, like, I've thrown so many tantrums the past month that they have, like, obviously, like, not felt safe to meet new people
Mm,
or continue, like, exploring things with the people they already had met. And I know that that's, like this is a very temporary, like, space of, like, feeling secure. So the anxiety is still there. Like, I know that, like, as soon as we start doing better my partner's gonna wanna start meeting people again because that's just what they naturally wanna do, and I
yeah.
absolutely understand that.
So, okay, let me interrupt you a little bit to
Okay.
say what I'm hearing is that it would be helpful for us to try to determine ways of coping with the feelings that precipitate a tantrum.
Correct.
Okay, let's go there. Okay. I'm going to have you say your full name out loud and their full name out loud.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a little bit of a dynamic with them where when you reach a certain pitch of, like, panic or stress, they capitulate to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. I can say broadly
Mhm.
that your anger or your vulnerability stopping everything and kind of making everyone kinda, like, defer to you, it's a family pattern.
Yeah.
And your partner's behavior of being, like, open and conversational and, like, really in a thing, but then encountering a certain level of emotionality and capitulating and just being like, "Forget it, I'll feed you grapes, whatever you need, whatever you need." This
Mhm.
is their family pattern. So,
Mhm.
the 2 of you on an emotional level, separate from, like, monogamy, boundaries, jealousy, whatever,
Mhm.
are in a very, like and are they around your same age?
Yeah, we're only a few months apart.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Because you 'cause you're in a very, like, immediately post-Saturn return moment where
Mhm.
you're both enacting ultimately patterns from your childhood and your parents,
Yeah.
and you're doing it in your marriage where you were so clear with yourselves as individuals and with each other as a team that you weren't gonna do this. And you're both so activated because you're in love with each other and you're like wanting to be safe and happy.
Mhm.
Not because either of you is like a bad guy in this situation.
I so wanted a bad guy
I
in this
know, I'm so
situation.
sorry. I'm so
Oh my
sorry. I
gosh.
know.
Yeah, the
Well,
nuance kills me.
the nuance is really like, okay, so Pluto Mars conjunction in any sign, but especially in Scorpio, it's
Mhm.
like a hammer. It's
Yeah.
like Thor's hammer. It's a heavy hammer. And square the moon, it's an emotional fixation on the hammer, right? And
Mhm.
so nuance, when you're obsessing, you love nuance because you're like, and when they looked at me, they felt like this, and then they said this and they meant that. And like you can really get into nuance then.
Mhm.
But when it comes to like blame, you want there to be clear lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good news is you're a Libra with your North Node conjunction to your Sun. There are parts of you that can totally work with nuance. It's like you really, 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 like super fucking really want to stay committed to relational anarchy. And also, it is not a match for you to do that at all. And you
Yeah.
don't want to do it at all. And instead of trying to figure out how to work that out with your partner, you have to figure out what's in alignment for you. Because you are 100% not about it and 100% about it. It's not like you're 50-50. You're not. You're
I
100% one
know.
way and 100% the other. So
Mm.
you can't work this out with them or for them before you work this out with and for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's the hardest about having I think I once read that, like, my chart has, like, 11 or 12 squared aspects.
No, not at all.
No? Oh,
No.
okay. Maybe it was
11
using a
or
different
12
thing.
squared aspects. My goodness. Where'd you read that?
On astro charts, I think? I
Astrochart.
just know that it was saying, like, the aspect that appears the most in my chart is the squared, but maybe I'm
Okay.
forgetting.
So astrocharts might include squares to the nodes.
Oh.
I don't think most astrologers would because 'cause they're not planets.
Mhm,
You do have 2 squares to your sun, and you have, 2 squares to your moon. It just so happens you only have 1 trine. I think you have more sextiles than squares. Yep, you have more sextiles than squares. So, if you included squares to the nodes, which most astrologers really don't,
mhm.
then you would have more squares than anything, but you actually have mainly sextiles.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I just relate a lot to, like, having, like, very contradictory truths within myself, and, like, I think the way
Yes.
you said it, put it perfectly, like, 100% for it, 100% against it,
Yes,
and I
yes.
so there's, like, my Libra, I'm, like, trying to find, like, where's the balance,
Mhm.
but there
So, the the
wasn't
the
possible.
the balance is your Libra part is like, I'm going to find the balance by hanging out in the middle. But because of the way the fixed sign stuff works in your chart, Moon in Leo, square to Mars in Scorpio and Pluto in Scorpio, if all you do is hang out in the middle, you are constantly repressing yourself. And
Facts.
that means you're either repressing yourself or you're fucking like acting out unconsciously, but with feeling.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Mm. So the Libra parts are like hang out in the middle, like find your balance. And that's great for some parts of your nature. The parts of your nature we're talking about, that shit doesn't work. Instead, it's about hanging out with the part of you that is a moon and Leo. That is like, bitch, but am I not the center of all things? Yes, of course you can be with anyone, but why would you want to? Right?
No, I don't, which I don't want to be.
I know. I
Because
know.
I've experienced that before and it was horrible.
It's not what you want. Slash
Yeah.
also, there is a part of you that does. There is a part of you that dealt with all kinds of losses as a child
Yeah.
that wants to be centered, and that part of you wants to be centered. Listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be centered. Leo moon, fabulous. Fucking like have somebody who adores you. You actually do. You actually married
Which I
somebody who
do.
adores you.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely. Yeah.
But the part of you that wants to be centered, that motivation comes out of trauma because your moon is square to Pluto. So some of that comes out of trauma. The part that's motivated from trauma is you need to prove to me 700% of the time that I'm
Hmm.
the center of your universe, because if
Exactly.
not, then I'm proven that I'm going to be left behind, that I don't
Exactly.
have worth, right?
Yeah.
So that's a trauma conviction. It's a trauma impulse. It's a well worn groove in your psyche that, like, every time you are decentered in a way that makes you feel vulnerable, there's this party that like slips back into this groove of like, I have to fight for my fucking survival now.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so the work for you, because you have a shrink, right? You have somebody that you're working on how to navigate non-monogamy or whatever we want to call it,
Hmm.
with your partner, right? So I don't need to give you advice around that. But the work for you to do alongside that work with your partner is to strive to understand emotionally whether or not you are unsafe or feelings of being unsafe are being triggered. Does,
I think
does that make sense, the
yeah,
difference?
yeah, 100%. I think I'm, since we're in this pause of them dating, I mean, technically, we have narrowed it down to like, okay, like instead of going on as many dates as you want, which they didn't even go on that many dates in the first place.
Mhm.
They went on at most 2 dates a week.
That's a lot
They're,
of dates. Is that not a lot of dates?
I don't know. I mean,
It's
I mean,
busy.
yeah, it's definitely busy, but
Yeah.
I'm a busy person. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
comparing it to me too, because like when I was busy dating and just trying to like, meet other people, I would go like sometimes on 3 dates a week. And yeah, that was very exhausting. And
It's exhausting.
that was when I had like zero hobbies or passions too.
Right,
So
right. It totally is.
right now a temporary rule is 1 date a week. And
Mhm.
they haven't even started using that, like because they're still so exhausted from the 3 weeks of me, being like, you don't love me, you're just trying to leave me.
Damn.
Why are we even doing this? And like God, I feel so bad. Like it's like we would have like one good day and then the next day I'd just be like, why are we doing this?
Right.
What's the point? And yeah,
And
and obviously that's exhausting.
it's exhausting, and did you witness in your childhood somebody doing that, an adult doing that?
Like a 180 like that?
Emotional tantrums that made other people change their behavior to accommodate them.
Oh yeah, that's all my mother.
Yes, it is. I wanted you to get there on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know from being on the receiving end of that, that it's a way of manipulating other people with your own emotions, right?
Mhm.
You are not doing it because you're a jerk. In the moment, it's like you are fighting for your life. You really do feel like scared and overwhelmed, and you're just like begging for help from your partner,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But those feelings, at a certain point, your job is to determine whether those feelings are your shit or specific to the situation. So I'm going to say a little bit more about that,
Mhm.
because in your childhood, you actually weren't safe at times, emotionally, whatever, like physically. Like there were times when you were not safe. And
Yeah.
in your marriage, your partner could go on 4 dates a week. Who has time for that? But okay, they could go on 4 dates a week and you would still be safe because
Yeah.
their love for you is embarrassingly obvious. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay, okay. Like, it's embarrassingly obvious. You being like, "You don't love me, you're gonna leave me," it is for sure a bit of a manipulation to get what you want because it's so obvious they're not leaving you and that they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is like a fun way that, I can help you uh, because I can really, like, name this piece. If they're going to leave, it's not because of the 4 dates a week. I just doubled the dates.
Mhm.
Because I genuinely think they could go on 4 dates a week. They could end up dating somebody for 6 months, and they've tied their lives to you in a way that, like, you're gonna have to get rid of them. They're not trying to get rid of you. You
Yeah.
know this, right?
Right now, yes.
Okay, okay. So, your assignment is to recognize that when you feel so activated, like they're gonna leave you and it's all over, that's because you're triggered and not because they are giving you any reason to believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the reason why I'm kind of like parsing out the difference between being triggered and being unsafe is because they feel the exact same in the moment, identical. They feel the exact same in the moment. Like them about to burn your marriage to the ground and destroy your emotions, and you just feeling scared that that might happen, feel identical in the moment, right?
Mhm.
But they actually take different medicine. If the problem is the relationship, then you need to stop them from dating other people. Then you need to change the rules, even though this is how it's been for 4 years, right? But you've already told me that that's not the case. So if it's not that you need to change the situation, then it means that you need to change how you respond to your own emotions, how you navigate your own emotions.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm going to make you say your name one more time.
Okay.
Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. Okay, hold
Ouch.
on. No, 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 it's
True.
it's true, it's true, it's true. I'm like, "No, no, no," but you know I'm right. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I look at you energetically, you do not want to change your behavior because it's working. You having meltdowns is getting your partner to stop dating other people, and so you feel safe.
Like, yeah, like, yes and no, Like, I have like I said, like, I understand that this feeling of safety is, like, only happening because of all those tantrums I threw,
Yeah,
and I understand that, like, to move past this, I have to let my partner be free
yeah,
and to do what they genuinely want to do, which is, you know, be committed to me, love me, and also possibly fall in love with other people.
yeah. Have experiences is really what it is. It's having
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah.
And okay, so that's true, but that's actually not what I think you need to do. What I think you need to do is to, because that part you can do. So what you're doing is okay, the activation and the emotions that you have are your Pluto Mars square to the moon.
Mhm.
But then you keep on saying, what I need to do is Jupiter conjunction to the descendant. What you keep on saying is like, I need to give them the same freedom that I know that they deserve and that I deserve and everybody
Yeah.
deserves. You're not talking about your own emotional intensity and your emotional trauma triggers, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's not like all of a sudden you magically don't want polyamory, like freedom to love and like and flirt and fuck and all the things. You want
Mhm.
that for you want that for them. But when they do it, it triggers feelings of loss and being out of control, and you don't have tools for dealing with it other than fight. Sometimes it's flight, but it's mainly fight.
Yeah.
Okay. So when fight or flight mechanisms come online, first of all, you and me and everyone else, the way we behave is often consistent with the age of the first time we got injured in that particular way. So This is why we act like children when and,
Oh,
like, we have temper
yes.
tantrums, right? Because it's like we
Yeah.
regress to a point where you splintered off in your psyche. And so what that means is if we pull back to, let's say, 2 years old, because it looks
Mm.
like I'm seeing some injury there, abandonment stuff at 2 years old. Does that track with what you know about your parents or your childhood?
Yeah, I'm sure that was around the time my father he had cheated for like the upteenth billionth time, and she was finally like,
She's like,
"Okay,
"I'm out.
fuck
I can't do
this, I'm
this
out."
anymore." That makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
because that is the first major splinter I see in this issue, right? In this
Mhm,
trigger. And
mhm.
so I'm guessing when you throw tantrums, you do it like a 2-year-old a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
and not when I throw tantrums, like, by myself, it definitely feels like a little kid is, like, crying, and
Yes.
I'm, like, screaming, like, "This isn't fair," and stuff.
Yeah.
When I throw tantrums in front of my partner, it's usually just, like, criticism, like, I feel like I'm, turning into my mom, like, I feel
Mhm.
like I'm just
Yes.
criticizing and putting them down, and it's
Yep.
like, "Why?"
It's because you're in the fight part of fight or flight. You're like, "I
Yeah.
will beat you down so you don't leave me." It's a terrible strategy, but it actually works, which is even worse because then you don't like yourself and you've gotten what you need. So, like, that inner child part is not motivated to change, right? And, like, you being cruel or acting like your mom, it's because you haven't developed a new way, right? You
Yeah.
learned that way from your mom. You learned that way from your childhood. And unlearning that is a fucking process. And
Mhm.
I just want to acknowledge that there is this way that you are really struggling with the desire in the moment. So not in theory, because right now we're in theory, right? But like
Yeah.
in the moment, I see you really struggling with the desire to change because those feelings activate you in such a way that you're like, "No, no, 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 I'm fighting for my life. I
Yeah,
can't
they're
just
so
sort through."
bad.
Yeah, it's very dramatic for you. And so I want to acknowledge this. Currently, like I said, Uranus is opposite your Mars and your Pluto. This experience you're going through in your life is honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity for you to change your survival mechanisms. And that doesn't mean you'll never be able to change your survival mechanisms again, but the Uranus opposition to Mars and Pluto is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And it creates the upsets, drama, and triggers one would need to make major changes with their survival mechanism coping skills.
Yeah.
And you are in it. You've been in it for almost a year. This transit started in the last day of May. When did your partner graduate?
About a few weeks before that, but then they had to, like, work through burnout, and then when they were finally out of burnout, from 4 years of burnout in August, so it took them a few months to work out of it.
Okay. Okay. Well, the transit is a year long and it started in May. So May through May, approximately.
Yeah.
And I want to just say, and do you have your own individual therapist still?
No, not anymore, ever since I dropped that one, because she that wasn't, like, the only time she helped make my inner critic even bigger.
Mm.
So I ghosted her,
Yeah.
and now I'm
Okay.
looking for a new one.
If you're looking for a new therapist, I would recommend if you can find like a somatic therapist, that would be really helpful. Because when this shit gets activated inside of you, because it's in the sixth house, it's really physical. Like it's like you're physically seized with these feelings. Like you just get really like, yeah, it's not just mental, it's not just emotional, it's physical for you. And
Yeah,
so a somatic therapist is gonna help you to, like, land in the body and process your feelings through your body. So I, again, strong recommend for that. But this work is work that your partner actually doesn't need to and probably shouldn't even be a part of because it's not about this your triggers are not really about the situation. They're more about how you relate to safety and possessiveness. And when you get
absolutely.
triggered at a certain level, your own emotional regulation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the thing I mentioned about the Jupiter on the descendant, and how it can be related to infidelity. So there's all this deep possessiveness stuff that we're talking about that is related to trauma and triggers. But I should also name that Jupiter conjunction to the descendant just doesn't like sharing. It's just a placement that's like, I love cake and I always take the biggest piece.
True.
And unfortunately, that means there's a smaller piece for you, but it's nothing against you and you're wonderful. And now I'll braid your hair. Like, it's just like, it's not like mean selfish, but it's more like everything is delicious for me. So I'm going to keep on, you know,
Yeah.
enjoying the deliciousness. It's so
Yeah.
hedonistic. So I wanna say, like, let's say you do the very fucking challenging, slow work of working with your trauma and your triggers. Yeah, you're still gonna be a little like, "Hmm, why are you going on a date? You could be with me," even if you don't
True.
wanna hang out with them.
I
Like,
think that's
there
something I've already said too.
I bet you I bet you have. Where you're just like, "Oh, what is up?" And
Yeah.
and I think there's nothing wrong with, listen, like, asking your partner to be like, "'Kay, now that you're dating and I'm losing my shit, can you just, like, once a week or once every 2 weeks, like, organize a nice date for us?"
Mhm.
And ask if they would be willing to do it, right? The problem is, like, it's not particularly symmetrical. It's not like something you've done for them or that they've asked you to do for them, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And listen, I don't think anarchy is inherently symmetrical. Like,
No.
like, it's okay that, they are less possessive, so they ask less of you in some ways, and you're more possessive, so you ask more in other ways. That's okay as long as there's not a manipulation there, right? And there is an element of manipulation that is there because your strong emotions stop everything.
Yeah.
And so it all comes down to the two of you and what you both consent to. Because listen, I can say, like, listen, it's not that symmetrical, but they might be like, that's chill. I would love to organize a date for us once a week. Like, they might actually like that idea. That might not be asymmetrical in a way that doesn't work for them.
Mhm.
Or it may feel like it's a little unfair and why is that on me? And all that kind of, so it's really important that as the two of you come up with strategies, because I'm wanting to like recommend strategies, I'm realizing like your partner needs to be a part of that. They need to be a part of that because their consent is really important here, right? So that you don't end up just managing the whole dynamic.
I'm very obsessed with, like, getting only genuine things out of them.
Yeah.
So, I know that, like, the minute they said that they're not down to close the relationship, it was super difficult to hear, but also, like, now that they're doing some of, like, the strategies we've been working on, like, it's helped, like, 'cause
Good.
I'm only receiving the things that they genuinely want to give me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, let me say this as a psychic.
Mhm.
Anytime you say to yourself, "They're gonna leave me, they don't love me."
I'm right.
You're right. Did you say you're
No.
right?
No, I'm kidding, I'm sorry.
You are on it. Whenever you say that to yourself, you can know, "Oh shit, I'm on something right now," because I objectively know that's not the case.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is when that those thoughts start running through your noodle, it's when you
Mhm.
need to your adult self needs to say to that, like, traumatized young part of you, "Okay, I'm obviously really triggered because actually I know this person is obsessed with me and loves me and is safe for me. They're not hurting me on purpose."
Yeah,
So
true.
so that doesn't mean your emotions are not valid, and that doesn't mean you don't need something. But it's really important to label things correctly, to be honest with yourself and with your partner about what's actually happening.
Mhm.
Because if you say to them, "I'm not safe, you're abandoning me," that's not true. None of that's true. What that's not, at all. But if
No.
you say to them, "I am freaking out and I don't know how to share you, and I think of myself as super non-monogamous, and actually I want you to be tied to me whenever I'm in the mood for it." That's actually a lot more honest. And when you're
Yeah,
being more honest, your partner can actually meet you wherever you are.
yeah.
and they're actually good at it. Am I seeing that correctly? Like, they're really good at showing up for you and taking care of you emotionally?
Yeah, I would say they're phenomenal, yeah.
I would say they're really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many of my readings you've heard, but, like, I love to pick at a relationship. Pick, pick, pick. But I
Mhm.
look at your relationship and I'm like, this person is, like, so safe.
Such a catch,
There's
yeah.
such a you guys, the things that you're freaking out about, I'm 0% concerned for. Like, there are things in your relationship where I'm like, "Okay, we could talk about ways you could work on your relationship." The things you're freaking out about and having, meltdowns about are not those things at all,
Yeah.
okay? At all. And so, again, that doesn't in any way invalidate your emotions because your emotions are your emotions, but they're not facts and they're not insights. They're the presence of triggers. And the way to treat triggers is really important because you and me and everybody the fuck else, we're all triggered, right? Like we're all, and I mean not everybody's all fucked up, but a lot of us are real fucked up in all of our ways. And it's on us as individual adults to figure out how to like navigate our toxicity or
Yeah.
whatever it is so that we don't create the conditions we wish to avoid. And that's the thing about your mom. She would act in ways that would create the very fucking things she least wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing about being post Saturn return, it's like every sitcom that ever existed. There's at one point some fucking joke of like, when did I become my mother? And then there's like a laugh track, but inside we're all
I've been
crying and
feeling that
dying.
really hard. I've been
I
feeling that
bet.
so
I bet.
hard.
I bet.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
you're in it. Like you're fucking in it. You're in this place where your pain can make you feel entitled to act in any way. And that's not
Yeah.
just you, that's how a lot of people are. But that's what your mom did, and you see how poorly that ages over time and how much that isolates you
Yeah,
from
she's still
from
the
your blessings.
same.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Your mom has dug in her heels,
Yeah,
and
they're down there.
yeah, it's very intense, and some of what you're doing now may give you empathy for young her and
Mhm.
how she came to be the way she is.
Mhm.
But also, she made mistakes, so you didn't have to. That's the joy of being someone's child.
Yeah.
They made mistakes, so you don't have to. The path you're going down in how you relate to your own feelings, it's not the path you want.
Yeah.
And so, again, the next time the narrative of I'm being abandoned, they're trying to fuck with me, because those are basically the two, adapted to the situation, but those are the two beliefs that kind of get triggered, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's when you know you're triggered and you're likely not seeing the situation clearly. And so the next action, once you've identified, okay, I'm activated, is to
Mhm.
tend to the feelings before you try to figure out the situation or what to say or do about the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's very annoying advice.
It's just yeah, no, like, it's just crazy because I have, like, activities that I like to do when I'm feeling depressed.
Mhm.
Because 'cause I've really, like, made a lot of progress on my depression,
Mhm.
but, like, these anxiety attacks, these panic attacks I'm getting, like, that's just not something I'm, like, really used to, like, just having it come at me, like, day to day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so, yeah, I just
Let me
never.
speak to that. So there's 2 different kinds of panic attacks. I'm
Mhm.
not a fucking shrink. Let me back up. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know about panic attack. And also, from my astrological viewfinder, there's 2 different ways that humans panic. There's Uranian panic, which is nervous system dysregulation, like your nervous system is like zinged up.
Mhm.
And then there's Neptunian panic, which is I'm disintegrating. I don't even feel like I exist anymore. Like it's like I know something's coming for me and I don't know what it is.
Those are both me.
Well, you have a Uranus Neptune conjunction in your 8th house. So by nature they're both you.
Yeah.
Slash however, you are going through a Uranus transit. So or 2 Uranus transits. My best guess as your astrologer
Mhm.
is that what's happening is your very physical and emotional activation gets hit, and then Uranus, it's basically, think of it this way, like, your Pluto-Mars conjunction square your moon is like all of your abandonment issues and resentments. And then Uranus is like just shoves an electrical rod into it. Zzz. And so you have a physiological response because it's hitting your Mars, it's hitting your 6th house. You have a physiological response where your brain is just like circling and circling and circling to find the idea or the theory that
Ugh,
justifies
yeah.
the feeling.
I was just about to say that. I was
Mhm,
just about to say how weird it is, like how it is such a physical experience, but I don't know if it's because I'm an air sign. I have like no earth in my inner planets, but like when I'm feeling this panic, I don't really understand how physical it is until it's over,
mhm.
like until the tantrum's done. Because like when I'm feeling it, I'm just like I'm really stuck in my head. I'm like just trying to find all the points
Yep,
and evidence as to why
yep.
it's okay to feel this way.
So, whenever you catch yourself doing that, the first thing to do is engage your body.
Mm.
When you are in a state of such extreme dysregulation,
Mhm.
you will never find an answer, period.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
the anxious mind that creates or perceives a problem will not find the peaceful answer, right? Um,
Yeah,
and so this is where basically just physically engaging your body in a way that is not self-harm
yeah.
comes in. Mars is about engaging your body, shaking it off. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying shake off the feelings because you're not gonna shake off those feelings. They're
Damn.
it's like your feelings are like a mountain on fire. So we're not gonna like cure your emotions by getting in
Oh,
the body.
I thought
Sorry.
that's what I was here for.
No, 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 no. But what you can do is get to a place where you are on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, where you can get
Yeah.
to from a 9 to a 7 or a 6,
Mhm.
because then you're better resourced. And then you can assess, okay, I got really triggered because my partner texted me that they're going to be home late.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feed the content. I'm not going to chase the thoughts. I'm going to tend to the body. I'm going to try to take myself down at least 2, right? From a 9 to a 7, from a 7 to a 5. You're never going to do it at a 5. You're only going to do this at a 7 or higher because you're
Mhm.
used to being activated, right? Like you have a very high tolerance for being activated. And so making a commitment to yourself that you are going to remember to breathe, that you are, if possible, going to do you sing? Do you sing alone? Like, sing in the car, sing along with emotion?
Oh, wow, yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
do. Yeah, you do. And so singing for you is like a physical act. For some people, it's
Mhm.
not, but for you, it's like how you use your body. So, like, singing is really helpful.
Mhm.
Again, stimming, all that kind of stuff. Anything that you can do, not to shove the emotion down, but also to not shove it in someone else's face.
Yeah.
Right? Or to not, like, beat yourself up with the emotion because these things backfire, they just create new problems, right? It's like having a migraine and going and getting a tattoo. Bad timing, but it does distract you from the migraine, right?
Yeah.
So, in these moments of activation, your intuition is not reliable, which is a
Ugh.
shame because you have great intuition.
Yeah.
And what happens is you try to kinda, like, peep in psychic things when you're activated,
Yeah.
but it's always a mistake and it doesn't work.
True.
True, true. And
Yeah.
so recognizing that this work is all an act of self-love and an investment in leaving this matrilineal pattern in your childhood,
Yeah.
which is could not be a bigger act of self-love for you.
Yeah.
You have the desire and the capacity to have a creative life filled with love and healthy relationships. And you can have this. I mean, you have it. You actually have it. But
Yeah.
you're in this place where you're being confronted by some of your deepest shit. I would say your deepest shit, not some of. I would just say like your deepest shit.
I was like, "God, I hope there's nothing deeper."
I know. Sorry. There actually isn't. Like this is really like we're here. We're here. This
Yeah.
is it. I mean, this is pretty deep for you.
It's kind of a relief that we've talked mainly about, like, my shit mainly because,
Mhm.
'cause you're right, like, all these triggers don't really have anything to do with our relationship. I mean, they're normal to have, but I think the reactions I'm having to them,
Yes.
like, yeah, obviously point to
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah, they point to trauma, and when I look at your relationship psychically, if I had any concern that they were fucking with you,
Mhm.
I'd be on that. I'd be on it so quick and so hard. But if anything, they're enabling you.
Yeah.
They're capitulating to you, right? And I
They
if
tried
they
really hard not to, and I give them respect for that, but yeah.
but, I mean, again, they have their own family trauma.
Yeah.
This is their shit, and so if they were getting a reading from me, I would say, like, you need to be able to tolerate your partner's emotions and let them have their emotions because they come in and they're like, "How can I fix? How can I help? How can I help? How can I fix?" They
True.
can't help themselves. But again, you are safe with this person. This person is not trying to harm you, and this person is not stepping outside of agreements.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, 100
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So therefore I don't need to look at the relationship and I don't need to look at them because
Mhm.
this is really the more that we affirm the reality of your safety, the reality of how consent is at the centerpiece of your relationship, how love and nurturance and respect is at the centerpiece of your relationship. These are rare things. BT dubs, but like these things are at the centerpiece of your marriage.
Yeah.
And when you, in a state of activation, invalidate those things and say those things aren't there,
Ugh.
that's self harm, right?
Ugh.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, and it's very much harming to them to hear
of course,
to
of
hear you
course.
invalidate all that too.
It is shitty for them. It is hurtful for them.
Mm.
And if I was counseling you both, I'd focus on that more, but because right now I'm just talking to you, I
Mhm.
want you to know that I understand that as self-harm. It's you pushing away the person you love the most and you care about the most, which is exactly what your mom did, right?
Yeah.
It is a form of self-harm that you've learned and that you don't even know you're doing when you're doing it because the feelings are so demanding.
Yeah.
And this is, like, being reiterated in the world around us right now, where people's trauma and fears are being weaponized against them so that they, like, hate people and act fucked up, right? We're seeing this, like,
Mhm.
you're not just going through this very personal thing. Uranus is opposite your Pluto, which is personal to you, but it's also, like it's like a generational thing. It's like a shift in society. How you relate to your trauma is being reflected all around you, and it's a lot. Like, it's in moments, I think, fucking you up. Like, in moments, it just feels, like, so overwhelming and so burdensome that, again, the softest place that you can take these feelings is to the person who loves you the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about that too, about connecting it to, like, the larger structures around me. Like,
Yes.
I started, like, obsessively watching, like, debates between, like, right-wingers and
Like Jubilee
left-wingers.
shit? Jubilee shit?
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
only because, like, I know who's right and who's wrong,
Yep.
and
It it
yeah.
feeds that black and white Pluto-Mars conjunction square the moon part of you.
Mhm. Mhm.
I would recommend maybe you don't. I'm gonna give
Oh,
you annoying homework. Listen, watch whatever the fuck you
please.
want,
Please
obviously,
do,
but
yeah.
I'm gonna encourage you to, like, in the same, like, YouTube, social media landscape, look for couples therapy videos
Mhm.
and good faith conversations. There's so much debate content and, like, change my mind kind of bullshit, but, like, I want to encourage you to instead really consume content that is about good faith conversations because you are really good at seeing behavior modeled and being like, "Oh, check, got that," and integrating it.
Yeah.
And the more that you consume content that reaffirms this maladjusted coping mechanism that you've inherited from your mom, who trust inherited it from her own,
Oh my god,
background,
absolutely.
right? The more you kind of like are locking that into yourself. And so
Mhm.
instead, my recommendation is to like put other models in front of you of like
Mhm.
how do people move through trauma. There is this therapist, I'm pretty sure she's a therapist on the TikTok. I am obsessed with her. I'm pretty sure her name is Raquel, the capacity expert, and she might not be quite the right person, but like she's like the therapist person that I think is so inspiring and, uh,
Raquel Hopkins?
I think that's her. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I think, like, your algorithm, like, if you start looking for good faith conversations and
Mm.
accountability, capacity management content, your algorithm's just gonna feed you more of it. And if you consume, like, Jubilee, which is really just, like, entrapment media,
Yeah,
it's like rage bait, right? Then your
100%.
algorithm is just gonna feed you more of that, which is going to strengthen that part of you that we want to help you to disentangle from, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. What's your substance use like?
I'll drink sometimes on the weekend. I guess, I guess the to me, I think my substance use comes from food more than anything.
Mm,
Like, I think
okay.
I don't really binge drink, I don't really smoke weed or any other drug, but I think, like, I definitely eat too much junk food at times.
And is it like when you're in emotional activation?
Yeah, like, it's better than it has been for a long time, but yeah, this definitely has brought up.
Mhm. So the moon
Yeah.
is your belly, it's
Yeah.
like your digestion and, like, Pluto is toxic and, that Pluto Mars is like when you get activated, you're either gonna wanna, like, shove it down or, like,
Mhm.
starve it out, right? Flight, fight.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm seeing, though. Uh,
Oh,
that's not what I'm seeing. Is it that when you get activated, you go on a scroll-a-thon and you're like, 10 hours have passed and I've just been fucking
oh,
scrolling? Okay,
yeah.
we found it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so that's your, like, what I'm seeing as a drug. It's this way that you are not self-regulating, you're manufacturing the fawn in fight, flight, or fawn. So you're not
Mhm.
actually, like, soothing your nervous system, you're escaping.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
listen, do your fucking worst. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to not scroll, but
No, I
I
know I need to stop. I
but
absolutely am.
I think it's more a question less than stop, my all or nothing friend. Less than stop, I would say when you grab your phone,
Mm.
so there's, like, a couple things you could do. One
Go
is
ahead.
there's this app and it's free and it's called 1 Sec. This is not an ad, Avi. It's called 1 Sec, and basically, like, you put it on your phone and, like, every time you go to open any app you connect it to, it forces you to wait, and it says, "Take a deep breath." And, like, I have that on certain social media platforms, and honestly, I use them 50% less because it's so
Oh,
annoying to look at this
yeah.
stupid screen and wait, and because I have to wait, I'm like, "Wait a minute, I don't actually wanna be using this app," and then I put my
True.
phone away. So you can try
Yeah.
something like that, or you can challenge yourself before every time you go to grab your phone to play a game or to scroll on social or whatever,
Mhm.
to challenge yourself to, I don't know, breathe for 30 seconds, put an alarm on your phone or something.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
just create a little bit of space between the impulse to do something and then doing the thing. That is
Okay.
like a teeny tiny action compared to you being like, "I know I have to stop." But your impulse to be like all or nothing keeps you in that, like, perfection is the enemy of good, right? Mode.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is instead of focusing on the behavior, which is in this moment we're talking about scrolling through the phone,
Mhm.
instead try to engage the emotions that are compelling the behavior.
Ugh.
I know.
Okay.
I barf with you. The work is so slow and it's so gross and it's so painful, but if you stick
Yeah.
with it, it gives you greater access to the whole of what you are, it gives you greater peace, and it
Yeah.
helps you to have healthier relationships to yourself. It helps you to let people love you, and
Yeah.
you have somebody who loves you bananas style. So, like, letting
Mhm.
them love you is like, I mean, man, you're You're not letting them love you right now in authenticity because of the way things are going, and you're suffering as much as they're suffering.
Yeah.
And that's actually like, you got a lot of problems we're talking about here. I mean, that's what I do. I talk about problems.
Mhm.
But like, wow, the problem of having somebody who loves you so much and not knowing how to just like let that be,
Mhm.
that's a really cool problem. That's a really, really great problem.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
And it's like a problem that like 12-year-old you Oh my god, if 12-year-old you could know that this was your problem
Mhm.
at this age, they would be
Mhm.
so happy.
Yeah.
They would be
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so have I answered your question? Is there anything kinda, like, scratching at your brains? Anything remaining?
Yeah, I think you've definitely answered my question. I think it's
Wonderful.
something I've been thinking about a lot, how weirdly enough that like as insecure as I'm feeling in my relationship at times, it's weird that like I'm being pushed to work on myself
Mm,
more than anything.
yeah.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. Like the relationship for the most part, it's very good and very stable and
The
I'm very
relationship's very
lucky.
good and very stable.
Yeah.
They have no interest in leaving you. They have no interest in hurting you. They have no interest in it.
Yeah, they
0.
don't. No, they don't. Yeah.
0. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're locked in.
They're locked in, like, beyond the ring. They are locked in. And they've told you as like, you know it because of how they behave, but also they've told you as much, eh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's good to be suspicious of people who prove themselves to be liars. Your partner is very honest.
Yeah. Yeah, very honest. Yeah, a little too honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you know where you stand.
Yeah.
You do know where you stand. If they were like, "Hey, listen, I'm not happy in this thing," they might take a minute to figure out how to say it, but they would say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The good news is your problem isn't your relationship. Your
Mm,
bad
that
news
that is good
is
news, you're right.
yeah, it is excellent news because you could have these issues and have a problem in your relationship at the same time.
Mhm.
Your big problem is your own
I'm the
capacity.
problem.
You're the problem, but hey, better you're the problem than the relationship is the problem and
Yeah.
it's triggering trauma. Your traumas are coming up and out, but not because somebody's traumatizing you,
Yeah.
just because someone's triggering you. And again, the difference is fucking everything because you don't need
Yeah.
to get away from this person or protect yourself from this person. It's more about regulating yourself and developing new tools and needing to do that in the relationship, right?
Absolutely.
And so say your full name and then their full name.
Okay.
Do you own your home?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, congratulations. And
We
you own it
do.
together. Right, it's the 2 of you. Yeah, yeah, I see that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. I just wanna take a moment to say, you have what looks to me like an adorable home.
It's
Like,
getting there.
it's like a sweet home. It's like house, eh?
Mhm.
And again, if kid you could see what adult you has,
Yeah.
kid you would be so much more calm.
100%. Oh my
You
god.
have achieved so much of what you didn't dare to dream of.
You're right. I didn't I a lot of people ask me like what did you think you would be doing at this time and I was like I did not have the capacity or even ability to think of myself this late in my life. Not because I was like suicidal, but I'm just like I just the future just didn't exist
I
to
see
me like
that.
that,
You were
you know?
just, like, surviving day by day, hour by
Yeah.
hour. Your coping mechanism was just fucking white knuckle it and get through it.
Yeah.
And dreaming of love, dreaming of home, dreaming of safety, why would you do that? It was just so
Yeah.
outside of your thinking. And
Yeah.
look at you fucking now, you know? And it
Yeah.
makes sense that these feelings are coming up because you got more than you ever dreamed of. You created with someone and with yourself more than you ever dreamed of. And so now you must deal with these kind of really deep pain points in you
Mm.
because they don't match your life. And you could make them match your life if you push your partner away hard enough, but they don't match your life. And again, I couldn't be happier for you that this is your problem. This is an exceptionally painful problem. It's excruciating, it's torturous to deal with, and it's the best possible thing for you.
100% because I mean even before all these triggers started happening, I was getting to a point in my life where I was like especially because my antidepressants have been working so well. I've just been like,
Congratulations.
like all my issues, like considering the state of the world and considering that I'm also a trans person, a trans
Mhm.
woman, like they're kind of like so easy compared to a lot of things. And like not to minimize my own experience of like what's going on right now, but like a lot of this shit I see a lot of other people going through is just like so much harder.
Yeah.
So much harder.
You are I mean, listen, the world's
I
on
have it pretty
fire.
easy. I have it
Yeah.
pretty easy, I guess, yeah.
That's let's okay, I'm gonna reframe it because I am your cheerleader right now. It's
Mhm,
not that you have it easy, it's
mhm,
that you've co-created a life with your partner and you've
mhm.
created a life for yourself and in yourself in which you are thriving.
Yeah.
And it happens to be happening while the world is on fire. Yes. And
Mhm,
may we all, is it possible that we will all burn? Maybe, maybe.
mhm.
But, sometimes I look at a person's chart and I'm like, yeah, of course you did. Yeah, no, it was like, of course, there was no other way it could be. No, you had to work. You had to work on yourself and try different things. And you've worked to get to where you are. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I definitely undermine that work a
Yes, you do.
lot.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But
And that's
yeah.
what I'm pushing you on because in
Mhm,
order to work on this stuff, which is your deepest shit, you need to be able to value your own labor and value your own successes because you've moved through other things. You can move through this. You may have heard me say this many times, but I'll say it a million times more. Progress
mhm,
is progress. Teeny tiny progress is
mhm,
progress. I don't care how big the progress is because progress develop it has its own energy and it helps us to cultivate greater progress, more progress, different progress. And that's what it's all about. It's about movement. It's about not getting stagnant. And when we learn from your mom, what we know is that she got real stuck and she got attached to being stuck, and being stuck over time made more and more things kind of implode and be a problem for her.
mhm.
And that's what happens. Not just to her, that's what happens to so many of us. And right now you are being confronted by the parts of you that want to do that. And you
Yeah,
have
well,
enough good
yeah,
in your life motivating you to not do that.
yeah,
That's fucking cool, right? And I know
yeah.
it's like I'm not a Pollyanna, but, like, let us not forget that that is cool, and that, like, you cool sounds like a nerdy thing to say, but it is so cool, like, it is
That's how I would
genuinely
describe
very
it.
cool. Okay, yeah, it is very cool. I think, like, in your moments where you're like, "God, I don't fucking wanna do this work,"
Yeah,
remember that the reason why you're motivated to do the work is because your life is beautiful, and you wanna live it, and you wanna be happy in it, and you have so much good life to fight for.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
put that in your pipe and smoke it when you don't smoke weed, but there you go.
I'll smoke
You'll smoke it.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just really enjoyed doing this and I really hope it helps
It's
and that
helped a lot, yeah.
okay, good. And stick with the couples counseling, obviously, but like get yourself your own shrink.
Absolutely.
All right, my dear. Take really good care and actually send my love to your partner.
Thank you so
To
much,
your husband wife.
Jessica.
It's so
Yeah,
my
to my
pleasure.
husband wife,
Yeah, to your
exactly.
husband wife, exactly.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Awesome, it's so my pleasure.
Every year they say the end is